in a quiet yet inspirational space where you can just think and jot down on a one sheet, like I did, one sheet, double-sided. I was sitting at my parents' summer cottage on their dock, nice sunny summer day, and I wrote out what the future of 1-800-GOT-JUNK could look like if only I imagined pure possibility and didn't let any negativity get in my way.
This is the How to Quit Working Show. Jeff Steinman believes entrepreneurship is the only true path to freedom. That's why he created the How to Quit Working Show, where you'll hear stories, insights, and inspiration from lifestyle fanatics who left their soul-sucking 9-to-5 job forever. Now, here's your host, author, entrepreneur, and ultimate lifestyle fanatic, Jeff Steinman.
Hello and welcome to the How to Quit Working Show. What a crazy day it's been today. Today was the first day of our new mastermind called Shift. We've got a great group of folks from all over the world who have joined us in Shift, and Heather and I are just so excited about getting this off the ground. This is such a big milestone for us because we spent so much time really trying to figure out what can we deliver to folks and how can we engage with folks in a way that is going to give them the support, the community, the information, the knowledge, and the accountability that you really need to quit your job and start a business. And I think that we've really nailed it, and we've really got something really amazing that's going to help a lot of people to quit their jobs and start a business. So we're so excited about this. Now, we did close registration officially as of midnight last night, but it was, however, Super Bowl Sunday, and we got to thinking, okay, maybe we need to give folks another chance because I think some folks didn't see our last-minute warnings about the registration closing to get in as of February 1st. So we did go ahead and let folks continue to register for today. So it is open. If you're listening to this on Monday, February 2nd, it is still open for registration, so you can go to howtoquitworking.com/shift, and if the page is still up, there are still slots available. Go over and check it out, howtoquitworking.com/shift. The thing that I told folks in the group today was you no longer have to feel like you're alone in this. You're no longer by yourself. It's no longer just one way listening to podcasts and consuming information one way. Now you actually have a community of folks in the Shift Mastermind that will be there to help and support and encourage you in every way that we possibly can. So go over to howtoquitworking.com/shift and check that out. Now, let's talk about today's show. We had talked in our Facebook group about, we're always talking about different ways to start a business, different options, MLM, real estate. Franchises have come up recently, and folks have been saying, Jeff, let's talk more about franchises on the show. So I said, you know what, let's go straight to the top. Let's talk to the guy who has created a hugely successful franchise company in the U.S., in Canada, and it's also in Australia as well. And I know we have listeners. In fact, we have a member of the Shift program in Australia. So I said, let's talk to Brian Scudamore of 1-800-GOT-JUNK. Now, one of the cool things about this is I have been a customer of 1-800-GOT-JUNK, and I've experienced firsthand the service that Brian is so passionate about bringing to what is, quite frankly, a very boring and not very exciting industry of hauling junk. And now they have expanded into a couple of other industries, home painting with Wow One Day Painting, as well as moving services with You Move Me. So Brian's going to talk about some of the benefits and advantages of joining a franchise, and he's also going to talk about his journey and how he created 1-800-GOT-JUNK. And I think the thing that you should key into as you listen to this is, if you're considering a franchise as a business opportunity, think about the advantages that you're getting sort of out of the box when you join a franchise. And if you listen to this, Brian's going to tell you a lot of great advantages that you get by utilizing the franchise model. So without any further ado, Brian Scudamore of 1-800-GOT-JUNK. Brian, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Jeff.
So glad to have you here, Brian. You are the founder of a company that everybody has heard of, and that's one of the things I think that's so cool. It's 1-800-GOT-JUNK, and we have a lot of listeners who've been asking for more information about franchises. So I want to talk a little bit about that today, but I first want to hear a little bit about your story of when you started 1-800-GOT-JUNK, because I think it's a fascinating story.
Sure. So I was in a McDonald's drive-thru of all places, and there was this beat-up old pickup truck with plywood side panels built up on the box in front of me. And I looked at that truck. It said Mark's Hauling on the side, and I thought, what a great idea. That's something I could do to pay for college. I had talked my way into college without graduating from high school and had to fund my own education. And there I was. I saw this beat-up truck and thought, okay, I'm going to go take my $1,000 I've got in the bank, buy a beat-up truck of my own. I formed a company called the Rubbish Boys. Even though it was just me, I had a vision for something bigger and got out there and started hauling junk. And the company, at a point in the future, became 1-800-GOT-JUNK as we wanted to expand into the United States. Started the company in Vancouver. It certainly did pay for college and then some. And with 1 year left in my college education, I made the bold decision to drop out. And why I say bold decision is my father is a liver transplant surgeon, and I think he had high hopes of me to go somewhere in this world in terms of an academic sense, and dropping out to become a full-time junk man wasn't something that he could, that resonated with him at that point in time.
Sure. Well, what was his reaction when you told him you were dropping out of college to haul junk?
Well, he said to me, Brian, you could continue on in school. You've only got 1 year left. Your business opportunity will always be there. And I argued, well, actually, Dad, I think it's the reverse. I think my business opportunity won't always be there, and I need to take this opportunity while it's there, but I can guarantee school will always be there if I choose to go back. And school is still there today, the University of British Columbia, but I have chosen not to go back because I'm having so much fun. I'm learning tons. I love, not to knock school. I love learning. I just have found my own way to learn, which is on the streets, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely. Going to a building that is designed for learning is not the only way to learn, certainly. Well, you talked about that moment when you were in the McDonald's drive-thru and you saw the beat-up pickup truck. It seems like there's a lot of things that you could have done, right? It didn't have to be hauling junk. I mean, it could have been an ice cream truck. It could have been a lot of different things. Is junk special to you? If that makes sense. I don't think it's junk that's special to me. I think you're right. It could have been a different vehicle, a different opportunity. But what aligned up with my thinking at that point was, here's something simple. I got the fact that this guy, Mark, had started a junk removal company and was hauling away stuff that people couldn't take to the dump themselves. And it just seemed simple. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to go buy a truck. I'm going to start hauling junk. There wasn't a complication to it that became a barrier. So it was just something simple. And I think I had envisioned myself. It's kind of strange looking back. When my grandmother passed away, I remember we were cleaning out her home, and I came across a photo album, and she had kept a whole bunch of drawings and illustrations that I did as a kid. And there was one when I was 4.5 that I did for her. It had my age and name at the bottom of the picture, and it was sort of self-portrait, and it was me cleaning up junk and throwing it into a truck. And so when my grandmother passed away, and I found that there was this illustration that I had done that she'd kept in a scrapbook, and it was a self-portrait of me. Really, it was me hauling away junk, and I was sweeping up stuff from the street, and I thought it was odd. It was, serendipitous that I guess I got into the junk removal industry. So maybe it was a bit of a foreshadowing. Maybe it was a vision that I had for myself. I think a lot of kids have visions of themselves being Superman or Luke Skywalker, but somehow I became a junk man. And while my dad wasn't proud at the time and a little skeptical, he's certainly on side, and I think my family and everyone around me feels good about the decisions I've made. Definitely. Well, because you're no longer just one guy with a beat up truck. You've come a little bit further than that. Tell us a little bit about kind of the evolution of just being that guy to where 800-GOT-JUNK is now.
It's been fun. So over the years, and it's been 26 years now since I started the business, things have grown. It took us about 8 years to get to $1 million in revenue. But what's exciting is we'll do $1 million in revenue in the summer in our busiest day this year.
Wow.
So the business has come a long way, and we've grown to about 1,200 trucks, 3 countries, Canada, United States, and Australia. We've got about 3,000 employees, and this year we'll do close to $200 million US. So it's exciting to see how the business has grown, but what I'm most proud of, I guess is a way to describe it, is the people we have in our business. It's junk removal. It's not rocket science, but somehow we've attracted really incredible people who have a passion for customer service, who know how to take the ordinary business of junk removal and make it exceptional, where people are remarking on the business we've created and really talking about the experience with such remarkable passion. So love what we've built, and we've leveraged that into some new businesses. So where we have seen that we've taken 1-800-GOT-JUNK and created this business where the ordinary business of junk removal we've made exceptional, we looked at what other industries could we take from ordinary to exceptional, and we've done it both in the house painting industry and in the moving space.
You know, I read an article, I think it was on Forbes, about the expansion of your company into the 2 new spaces, and it made so much sense how you took the things that work. I believe the statistic I read was something like 70% of your process and procedure manual for 800-GOT-JUNK was able to be ported right over to Wow One Day Painting and You Move Me. Is that something, I mean, clearly that was a huge advantage as you grew the business into different categories or different areas. Was that something that you planned? Did you say, let's build something that we can make duplicatable across different industries?
It wasn't something we set out to do, but as the business became so scalable and we had all these great processes and systems in place that we excelled at, we started to look at them and say, okay, what other businesses can we now create from the things that we've already built? For example, we have a sales center, a call center, where we do all the booking and dispatch for everyone that calls 1-800-GOT-JUNK. We dispatch them out to the closest trucks for every franchise. We have created a software system that allows us to do the booking and dispatch and the accounting. We've got a marketing department that excels at everything from online digital to offline. And we've said, okay, how can we take the things we do well and what businesses would fit into that? And we started looking at other household industries. So we got into Wow One Day Painting, and the unique proposition there is we will come in and paint the interior of someone's home in a day.
Wow.
It might be, it gets that impression. It gives that feeling of, wow, how is that done? And when a customer comes home at the end of the day and sees their entire interior has been transformed, that's a wow experience. That's how I found out about the business, was as a customer. And it was just coincidental that I had hired a company. I went out to get several quotes and was not impressed with anyone in the industry except the third person that came in that had this concept of coming in and painting a home in a day. They did exactly what they said they would do. The quality was unbelievable. It's a numbers game. You just put enough people at the job to get it done in a day. So it doesn't take a hit to quality. It doesn't add to the price. Rather than do 2 people painting a home in 7 days, you put 14 people in there and get it done in a day. And we created this concept of Wow One Day Painting. It uses our call center. It uses our booking and dispatch software. It makes use of our marketing, our branding, our PR. And then, of course, from there, we got, I guess, addicted to creating great brands and watching them grow. What motivates me in life is great people building great things together. Mm. I'm a big fan that we're building something much bigger together versus going at it alone. And when I look at the moving space, it was a similar story. I had a terrible move. I had a guy locally who was supposed to be the best company in the city, and the owner was involved in the business because he apparently really liked 1-800-GOT-JUNK and wanted to get involved in my job just to make sure it was perfect, and it was terrible. The guys broke stuff. They lost stuff. Their drivers had attitude. It was just not what I was expecting. And so I said, there's got to be a way to challenge this space. There's got to be someone who can build an industry in moving in a better way than what's currently being done. And we set upon ourselves to do it, and we've done it. We're well on our way to growing a third industry where we want to be the leader like we are in 1-800-GOT-JUNK in the junk removal space. Our You Move Me brand, we've got 35 franchise partners. We will add 50 over the next year or so. And what's exciting is we did $14 million in revenue in our first full calendar year.
Oh, wow.
Now, that's a massive number coming straight out of the gates and building a business where you're doing it in an exceptional way so quickly. But having great people and great systems is making it all possible.
That's so amazing. And you said it was 8 years to get 1-800-GOT-JUNK to $1 million, but 1 year to get You Move Me to 14. Did I get that right?
You got it right. So it was 8 years to get 1-800-GOT-JUNK to $1 million. It was only 6 weeks to get You Move Me from 0 to $1 million.
Wow.
And it's something we feel proud of, because if customers are paying millions of dollars to have us do a service, that says something that, people pay for service. And if we're growing something and the revenue is continuing to grow, we're getting more customers, which means customers are happy. We follow something called a Net Promoter Score model. And the creator, Fred Reichheld of Net Promoter, says that a world-class score is something between 20 and 50. And I'm not going to get into the methodology of how it's all calculated, but to give you a score or perspective, our score in all three brands hovers in the high 70s to the high 80s.
Wow. That is cool. Tell us, Brian, a little bit about the franchise model, because you talked about building great things with great people. I think the really cool thing about this is we can get involved.
Yeah, franchising is powerful. So if I look at some of the world's best businesses that have been created, what got me familiar with the franchise model was Ray Kroc's business at McDonald's.
Sure.
Here he was taking a recipe, a cookie-cutter formula, and sharing it with others where they could become millionaires, where they could become entrepreneurs within a system where they could springboard off of someone else's success, a brand name and systems that would allow them to avoid mistakes and grow something more quickly. So when I looked at franchising and tried to tackle that as my model, which did take me in 1-800-GOT-JUNK 10 years before I had franchised the business because I had to get the recipe right. What I did in franchising was really recruited awesome people who shared a similar passion for growth and building something. And when I got out there and said, okay, we are going to build something together, here's what it looks like, my role became, here's a vision. We are going to build something exceptional. We will be in all these different countries. I created something I called my painted picture. It was a 2-page vision of what the future would look like. Now, I did this in 1998, and I created a 5-year vision. So by the end of 2003, we would be in the top 30 metros in North America. 30 cities bigger than Vancouver, where we started. And while we were only in Vancouver at that point, I had a vision for something bigger. I said we would be on the Oprah Winfrey Show. I said we'd have clean, shiny trucks, friendly, uniformed drivers. I came up with all these big, bold ideas, and we made them all happen by finding great people who also believed in the same compelling vision. We charged ahead and did it. So when I look at franchising, what I love about franchising is it's powerful. You can take great ideas from people who are in different businesses, non-competing sort of territories, but they're in the same industry. And what works in Milwaukee probably works in Los Angeles. And we can share those great ideas with each other. And the power in franchising is really elevating each other and really growing something together.
Well, what's so fascinating is if you think about the progression, maybe you're getting ready to move, and maybe you need someone to haul the junk away at your old place, and then you need somebody to move you, and then maybe you need somebody to paint your new house in the colors that you want. So it seems like there's certainly a lot of overlap there. Are you able to cross promote like that?
It's pretty cool when you can see that somebody's moving and they need to have their place painted where they've left. They need to have their new house painted before they move in. They need to have their junk hauled away. And what else will there be? I mean, are we going to get out and start cleaning people's gutters? Are we going to start cleaning their carpets? There's plenty of room for other brands that fit within our offering of services. So while we're known for taking the ordinary and making it exceptional, why can't we do it in every home service out there? So we're focused. We're definitely have these 3 brands, and really it's about cranking them out, growing them, fulfilling the potential of having great people building something with us. We've got a long ways to go, but there will be a day when we've got 10 brands, and where we're $1 billion company, and it's exciting. We have fun growing things and having fun making customers feel that wow feeling, whether we painted their home, moved their house, whatever it might be.
Amazing stuff. Brian, tell us a little bit about what is it like to be a franchisee?
I think being a franchisee is very, it probably varies depending on what franchise system you're a part of. So when I look at our franchise system, it's very much like a family. We debate things, we listen to each other, we respect each other, we encourage ideas and innovation. And so it's taking care of our people, our franchise partners, and understanding that we would not be where we are if it weren't for our franchise partners. All the great ideas come from our franchise partners. Now, while I might have had a few good ideas in the early days, the reality is they come from our franchise partners. No different than the McDonald's example. The Big Mac, the Ronald McDonald, whatever it is that McDonald's has done well over the years, the Egg McMuffin, different innovative ideas, those have come from franchise partners. So we do the same thing, and we're constantly mining for ideas, talking to our franchise partners, having regional and national meetings to make sure that we understand what challenges we're having, what needs to be improved, how do we improve those things. And it's working together. So I think a franchise partner is very much an entrepreneur within a family. They've got resources. They're not completely on an island by themselves. They're able to pick up the phone or visit a franchise partner and seek ideas and support from those that are around them. If I look at Boston as one example of a market, we've got 6 franchise partners for 1-800-GOT-JUNK. We've got a couple for Wow One Day Painting and a couple for You Move Me. People are able to learn from other franchise partners within their system, or there's nothing wrong with a Wow One Day franchise partner who's in the painting space going to visit a 1-800-GOT-JUNK franchise partner to learn about marketing ideas, to understand what's working in a different yet similar space.
Interesting. What do you think? What do you think are the attributes of an entrepreneur that makes them a good franchise partner?
Someone who makes a great franchise partner you've got to be entrepreneurial and take risks, yet you've also got to be disciplined and able to follow a system. So if I look at what makes our business work, is that we've got a recipe that gets better and better and better. If someone is looking to be completely greenfield, groundbreaking entrepreneur and innovate every single day, a franchise isn't for them. A franchise is where someone goes, listen, I want a recipe book that tells me exactly how to do it. I'm going to learn and master that recipe before I get out and innovate and try and do things differently. So my advice to a franchise partner is take the first year to follow the recipe and understand what works for you and what doesn't work for you. At that point, if you feel you can do something better, great, innovate. We get entrepreneurs that will come in, buy into our system or our family. They'll go start a franchise. They'll do it their way. And you always hear from them, I should have followed the system. So it's trusting that the system wasn't created by me. The system wasn't created by the junction or head office. The system is the surfacing of all the best practices to the top of what works, what doesn't, and we share those each and every day. So that's what makes us better. That's what makes us grow and thrive. So my advice to anyone that comes into a franchise network, whether it's ours or anyone's, is trust the system that's in place, because that's what you're paying for. As a franchise partner, you're paying a royalty. You're paying a percentage of your sales for that springboard, that know-how, that knowledge share.
Interesting. Well, I think one of the things that you mentioned the word springboard, which I think makes so much sense because you talked about the amount of time that it took to get to that first million with 1-800-GOT-JUNK versus the first million with Wow One Day Painting, and there's a huge difference there. And by joining the franchise system, you get to have the benefit of all that cumulative knowledge.
It's cumulative knowledge that does allow you to springboard. You grow faster if you follow the system and apply the learning that has come before you. So why wouldn't someone want to get into a business where the problems that they're going to face have actually been solved and dealt with for the most part by people ahead of them? It's an efficient model. Franchising, I think, is a absolutely efficient way to grow something more quickly. So someone getting into a franchise has to be motivated by growth, speed, acceleration, and they understand that this is the quickest way and one of the more effective ways to grow a business quickly.
Excellent. Brian, what would you tell somebody who's sitting out there, they're still kind of working their job and they're thinking, trying to figure out which way to go, I'm wondering if franchising is for me or not, just not sure what to do. What would you tell that person?
I always tell people to take out a sheet of paper, draw a line vertically down the middle, and on one side of the sheet, and this takes 10 minutes to do, on one side of the sheet, write all the things you love to do and all the things you're good at. It could be selling, marketing, presenting in front of people, whatever it might be. Then on the other side, write the things that you hate doing, that you're not very good at, that someone can do better than you, that are still important in a business. And it could be finance, accounting. It could be, the legal documents or paperwork, and some people love to do those things, but you write what you love to do on the left, what you hate to do and you're not good at on the right. And then you look at that sheet and you go, okay, what opportunity fits my strengths? What opportunity fits what I'm awesome at? If someone is great at selling, if someone loves knocking on doors, doing deals, building a business and not doing the administration, maybe one of our franchises is good for them because we provide the infrastructure, the back-end support. And most of our franchise partners like to sell, they like to market their business, and the most successful ones fit that profile. They know that they get the systems from us on the booking and dispatch with the call center, the marketing and the admin support, the back end. It's a great partnership when you've got the right fit between a great franchisor and a great franchise partner.
Amazing stuff. Brian, what's the last thought you want to leave our listeners with?
I think if you've got an entrepreneurial or an intrapreneurial audience and people are looking to get in business for themselves, the thing that's been most impactful in my life is the art of visioning, creating a painted picture. It is sitting down in a quiet yet inspirational space where you can just think and jot down on a one sheet, like I did, one sheet, double-sided. I was sitting at my parents' summer cottage on their dock, nice sunny summer day, and I wrote out what the future of 1-800-GOT-JUNK could look like if only I imagined pure possibility and didn't let any negativity get in my way. Gee, I didn't finish college. I didn't finish high school. I don't have a lot of money. I don't have the brains, whatever it might be. I didn't let negativity get in my way. I just imagined pure, raw possibility. And I made that picture happen. I started to rally the right people around me. So I think as an entrepreneur, from one entrepreneur to other entrepreneurs or future entrepreneurs, is envision your painted picture. Think what you could possibly accomplish and understand why it is that you want to do something great and what that looks like. If you can envision that painted picture, not how to get there, but where you're going, then the hows start to come into play over time. You start to figure out answers to the questions you've got, and it's pretty exciting stuff.
Amazing advice. Brian, where can we go to get more information about you and franchise opportunities?
I would have someone just Google 1-800-GOT-JUNK, Wow One Day Painting, and you move me. And any of those businesses, you'll see similarities, you'll see differences. Learn from our model, go start a competitor, whatever it might be. I love watching people build businesses and grow. I love watching people who see that they'd rather join us, become part of the family, whatever it might be. But we're building something pretty special together, and it's a lot of fun. And if this resonates with anyone out there, then would love to end up meeting them.
Excellent. Brian, thanks so much for coming on the show, and thanks for sharing your hard-earned experience, and thanks for the amazing stuff that you're doing, and thanks for letting so many awesome, cool entrepreneurs join you in your journey to build amazing businesses.
Awesome. Well, thank you. It's been my pleasure, and always enjoy chatting about entrepreneurship and the lessons learned along the way. So thanks for including me in your show, Jeff.
Now, that's a lot of really great information about franchises. Why should you join a franchise? Why should you not join a franchise? I think the thing that, if you didn't pick up on this, and I hope that it was really clear in the interview, when you look at how Brian built 1-800-GOT-JUNK, he said it took 8 years to make $1 million. With Wow One Day Painting, did it in 6 months, or I think he said 8 months. So the thing, no, he said 12 weeks, I think. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, it was a really short period of time relative to the 8 years that it took to get his first business to $1 million. Now, here's the thing. When you join a franchise, and again, I'm not a franchise salesman. I'm just here to throw out options. I have no skin in the game. But when you look at it, you get the benefit of that 8 years of learning with 1-800-GOT-JUNK, which is what I think is so cool about the franchise model. So go check out Brian's websites and his companies if that's something that is of interest to you. They are all going to be linked up below the show, and so you can go directly to the website and get more information about that. So great stuff. I hope you learned a lot from that interview. And just a reminder, if you are still interested in joining Shift, if you are listening to this on Monday, the 2nd of February 2015, you can still jump in at howtoquitworking.com/shift. Would love to see you inside that program so that we can help you quit your job and start a business, which is why you're here. I will talk to you on the next episode of the How to Quit Working Show.
Thanks for joining us on the How to Quit Working Show. Tune in next time when we'll talk to another amazing person just like you who is now living the ultimate life of freedom and doing it on their terms. If you want to learn how to quit working and get these episodes delivered directly to you, visit howtoquitworkingshow.com.